All right, guys. So on this channel, I brought all kinds of stocks over the years. Over the last year, though, we've been knocking them out of the park. It's been one of those things where, you know, you see something run, people get all up in arms about it, like, oh, it's already gone up 100%. Oh, it's already gone up 1,000%. Case in point, Penn National. You look at something like that and you say to yourself, how can I buy something that's gone up so much? Well, it really all depends on the quality of the company. Am I gonna buy something like GameStop after it's already gone up 1,000 or 10,000%? No, I'm not. Am I gonna buy something like AMC that's gone up 10,000%? No, I'm not. Am I gonna buy something like Penn National after it went up 1,000% from its bottom from $3 to $30? I think that was a good decision. Am I gonna buy Zoom after it had gone up 400% at $116? Pretty sure what we know the answer there. Now, I got another one for you guys. And it's already gone up. No, we're not catching this on the bottom. But does it have room to grow? I think so. So much so that I bought $10,000 worth of this just last week because I think it's still got plenty of room to run. So if you thought that I was crazy then, wait till you see what I got for you now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. The stock market is crazy and chaotic, and I've made it my mission to help you own it. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button if you want to see more content such as this. Also want to give a shout out to Sagamore Spirit for being a part of the video today. Now, today's video is going to be about Airbnb. I'm putting $10,000 into this stock, and we're going to be talking about as to why. But also want to make sure you guys are sticking around to the end of the video because I'm going to not only show you the position size that I have in Airbnb, but I'm going to show you the entire portfolio as of right now that I actually give to my Chaos Crew folks every single day of the week. If you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you're in that link down in the description. Would love to have you guys as part of the Chaos Crew. All right, so Airbnb has gone up 165% since its IPO in just December of 2020. And so why am I buying it now? Well, there's a couple of reasons. A couple weeks ago, I explained to you how I was rotating some stocks out of tech because I was a little bit too tech heavy, and then I was going into some reopening plays. Well, Airbnb is a tech stock, but it's also a reopening play, and that's why I love it so much. So I ended up buying it this past week, spent 10 grand on it with an average price of around $191, and I really like this stock for a lot of reasons. One of them, like I said, it's a reopening play. They are going to absolutely explode. I don't care that I'm buying it at 35 times sales. I think that the way that the market is responding, the demand isn't going to just come back to where it was pre-pandemic. It's going to double and potentially triple that of what it was before we all got shut down. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One of them actually is that domestic travel is going to come back much faster than international travel. We've talked about this a lot, especially why we like Southwest over all of the other airlines because of their focus on domestic travel itself. People are going to feel a lot safer about traveling around the United States than they are going outside of the United States, even if it's just Canada or Mexico, what have you. And with the government still keeping lockdowns in place as far as international travel is concerned, you can understand why domestic travel is going to be the first one to really boom. So Airbnb really benefits from this, not only from a vacation standpoint, but now that there are more and more people working from home and working remotely, you can choose to work from wherever you want. So if you don't want to work in the same four walls that you've been sitting in for the last year, you can go to the beach and work from there if you are a work from home participant. So one of the arguments here when it comes to Airbnb is that it's too expensive. They have other competitors that have valuations that are maybe only around 5 times revenue, whereas Airbnb is actually around 35 times revenue. Well, in my opinion, I don't think that that matters too much. In a world in which we live in innovation and it is a winner-take-most environment, we've talked about that with Zoom, we've talked about that with a lot of other companies. Penn National also comes to mind, that a company like this is trading like this because it's such a forward-thinking vessel. The stock market, rather, is a forward-thinking vessel. And so I think when you look at something like Airbnb and how innovative they are and how much that they set themselves apart when it comes to the competition, Airbnb, in my opinion, is going to absolutely explode and crush everybody else, taking up an extensive amount of market share. So do I mind that it's gone up 165% since its IPO and that it's trading 35 times sales? I don't think so. I think this is one that, in my opinion, still has a lot of room to run. I'm going to show you something on the chart that I think is actually rather intriguing as well. All right, so as you can see here, I have a position of 50 shares, $194.32 is my average. My first grab on this was just under $190 and I actually started to see this pop up, so I ended up averaging up on this because of the momentum that I saw. What I also saw here is that what I really like to look at on the daily chart is the 200-day MA, and obviously Airbnb hasn't been around for 200 days yet, so we don't have that. Right now I just have the 5-day, which it's trading well above that now. Finally, looks good here. What I also like here as well is the RSI. Now, RSI, you know, a lot of people give this a bad name, but I think it is useful if it's done right. And in my opinion, I think that it looks great here, sitting right here in the middle of the RSI channel, right at 58. It's getting a little bit warm, but as long as we stay under 70, I'm really good with it. But one thing that really intrigued me here is on the short term. Over the last 2 weeks, this went, you know, popped up here around 215, came back down, obviously with the rest of tech. And honestly, really the market, once rates went up, it had a little bit of a pullback. It held above, with the exception of a crazy spike down here to 175 for one day, but it held up above 175, 174 rather well. And so that's when it really started to pique my interest here. I thought this was going to be a good opportunity, and we're starting to see a potential cup and handle pattern here, which is very bullish. So what I'm looking for here is that if this actually does end up consolidating here over the next few days and then pops up over 220, I think that Airbnb is set for an incredible breakout, not only just from a chart perspective, but from everything else that we've talked about here in this video. Now, as promised here, I also said at the beginning of the video that I would show my entire portfolio, and it's actually pretty remarkable the way that this has been performing. So if you look at this, you know, overall, the portfolio looks great. You can see that I've absolutely knocked Penn National out of the park. I went super heavy on this. You guys know, if you've been following this channel for 5 minutes, you know how bullish I am on Penn National. I almost have the same conviction for Airbnb, and you can see this, that I'm already up quite a bit on this. I feel really good about the trade, and it takes up about 11.5% of the portfolio. I like this. Am I going to continue to add to this? You know, that's a great question. I think that when this comes down, or if this comes back down to that 174, 175 and holds there, maybe I would consider that. But at this point, now that it's moved up over 200, I think 200 is now the new support. So if it does consolidate down there around $200 even, I may consider taking more of a position there, but it'll just have to wait and see. And as you can see, I've actually rebalanced this portfolio rather well. I was really super tech heavy. I had a lot of Roku, Peloton, a lot of the other stuff that's really gotten me to this point. And so I've kind of balanced this out. You can kind of see that there's some reopening plays here. Spirit Air Systems, obviously Penn National, Rocket. Square, in my opinion, is another tech stock that's also a reopen play. Snapchat in that same vein as well, and even AMD. Disney's one that I think is probably going to do rather well. It's just going to take a little bit of patience, and obviously the AMC was a lost bet. So we're just going to not talk about that one for the time being. I really wanted to come down here and talk about Tesla as well. Tesla's something that I think will come back. I'm not worried about it, not going to touch it. But overall, guys, I'm really happy with the position that I took on Airbnb. If you guys want to see more of this portfolio and how I adjust it every single day, make sure you're hitting the join button next to subscribe, or there's a link in the description as well. You can become part of the Chaos Crew. It's $5 a month. You can't beat it. So if you guys want to be a part of that, would love to have you guys as part of the Chaos Crew. Guys, that's going to do it for me. Leave me some comments down below as to what you think about Airbnb. Have you already bought it? Have you been into it for some time? Let me know why. And that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, I'll see y'all before the bell. B. Smith is out.